Good evening. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to the 50th annual AHIHA banquet. 50 years.
The Stan Mikita Hockey School for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing, AHIHA, started back in 1973 when Chicago businessman Irv Tianabeck said to his friend Stan Mikita, "You're running a hockey school for deaf kids this summer." Irv started a school for his son Lex, who was being discriminated against.
My father asked the coach, "Why is my son not playing?" He told my father that I'm better off being a water boy.
Irv thought that, well, if that's happening to my kid, it may be happening to others as well.
When Stan first came to Canada and the United States, he didn't speak English very well. When he was asked to start to help a hockey school for the hearing impaired, he remembered what he had experienced as a young man and could relate to what the hearing impaired were going through.
Stan Mikita is a Hall of Famer. He was able to bring in some NHL players onto the ice with us, and to be able to see them and know that these pro hockey players were there to work with us was inspiring.
We're getting more kids, and I think it's because the example of the varsity kids, the alumni, and Kevin.
This week is our regular hockey school. People here coaching are doing it as a volunteer, and they're doing it because they love it.
I never expected to have deaf children, but when I did, my wife and I decided that we wanted to get them into hockey. And I was really excited because that would mean I'd be able to come back to AHIHA and they'll experience what I experienced growing up.
The coaches just allow you to play just as any other person would play.
Every year having a new head coach and having to re-educate them to look at me when they're giving instructions and trying to figure out how to visually communicate with people. The coaches were signing, or they'd have interpreters already set and ready for us to have that full accessibility, and the struggles went away.
At home, they have to repeat themselves. Here it's a little bit different. I'm able to just move along with everybody else.
I have to have a sense of awareness around on the ice. I have to use the glass to be able to see who's behind me. The girls that are hearing, they get to just know, they can hear that someone's right behind them, they can hear a stick tap, they can hear the little things.
How do we know we're switching off the bench onto the ice? How do we know when it's our shift?
You have lights now around the rink, so when the whistle blows, all the players know, stop play.
We give them jersey equipment and all that. They have a hardship. We provide hearing aids for them.
It was easy to communicate when I was at AHIHA. Everything was so clear, the instructions, everything at practice, because my language was being used. It wasn't just for me, but we're all equals here. And that's where my heart is.
From the moment we all walked in here, people treated me like equals. I mean, I'm still friends with several of the guys who I met 30 years ago and came to a week-long camp.
I made lifelong friends, plus the experience of self-esteem and knowledge that being deaf, I'm not the only deaf player out there, it makes you feel good. It's a great bonding experience.
We have had plenty of campers that have played on the deaf Olympic teams, some that have played at the college level, others that are leaders in their communities. I want to go into the NHL, become a coach, maybe captain at first. That's the goal.
Uncle Irv's dream of having a place for deaf and hard of hearing kids has stood the test of time. We certainly have come a long way. Cheers to everyone.
My father told me before he passed away, keep the hockey school going. And I will be looking down on you. I know he's looking down, smiling. You know, that's very touching.
What does hockey mean to you? Hockey's my life, I guess. Yeah. Hockey's my life. I love it.